fucked when we were supposed to wash our hands for 20 seconds and we needed to be told of a way to figure out how long 20 seconds was.
Yeah.
And none of those ways were counting to fucking 20. We have a pretty good system.
Yeah, you throw Mississippi in there and you're giving yourself a...
Yeah, you'd be fucking ready for surgery.
Uh-huh. Yeah, damn it. I haven't done that really too many times where I've come in and just scrubbed the fuck out of my hands, but I don't know. Fuck it.
You're out there on your own. I'm in fucking West Hollywood. I take the dogs for a walk, and I've got to touch the doggy bag dispenser, and there's people. So
yeah, you
still
got to
wash
do that
pretty consistently. It's made me a germaphobe, and I think I'm not going back. I kind of like it.
Well, maybe it's more you not being a germaphobe, it's just being realistic about how germs are spread.
Yeah, I'm woke to germs. Yeah.
So I think germaphobes before were the normal that we just didn't think was normal.
Yeah, Howie Mandel was right.
Yeah, turns out maybe we need to reinspect his body of work.
I remember calling him a cocksucker in Sioux City, Iowa for not shaking my hand after a casino gig. Sorry, Howie.
Jesus Christ. There's two things I can count on. Wherever I set this fucking chair, the sun's going to have an uncomfortable glare on my head. There's no way to track the sun. There's no... I can't get a read on this. I can't get a read on this fucking thing.
There'll be a way to track the sun, but you're right.
It pops up over here, it ends up over there, but in the meantime, it's just fucking in my face all day.
Sun's all willy-nilly.
And the fucking bees. Fucking bees, I don't know. Killed so many of them, and they still fucking want to hang out with me. Yeah, the hornets. The hornets, and I'm gonna...
This is like trying to get an old comic who's still doing the... Are you Chinese? No, I'm Korean. Yeah, I know, but what kind of Chinese are you? Are you Korean Chinese or are you Vietnamese Chinese? They're bees, Shaylee, and they're always going to be bees.
Yeah, well, okay,
over here.
Bees. The yellow jackets I call bees, and the ones that live in the eaves, I know them as wasp. Wasps, they move up and they get real close to your neighborhood. And so I saw some of them. That's instead of painting, I'm just figuring out where all the wasps are now.
Hey, Andy, just in case this ever comes up, we go camping. What do you call bears?
Run. No, I don't know. Me and Brett, did we call it anything? Hey, I think I said, hey, man. Hey. Hey, bear.
Yeah, it's good to know. Andy's like, I don't know why you guys got mauled to death. I yelled possums.
Yeah, so I killed.
Did you hear me say ice cream truck? Jeez, you guys went running towards it.
No, whenever I'm scared of anything, I yell, "Help! The police are here!" And everybody just runs.
Yeah.
Directions. But so I killed them. They're up above, and then I just saw this one area, and I gassed them with a little bit of the spider killer, and then I went about my business, and then I came back out on the deck, and there were like 20 of them dead. So I was like, "Fuck nice. Yeah, I gotta." So that's my system. I'm gonna crawl up on my belly and spray up underneath, and then kill them before paint. The painting project is off until we can take care of the bee problem.
Fair.
And if the crew don't get painting done by the 30th, then fucking A, man. I don't know what to do about it, but... Yeah. I know. I mean, I don't have very much to do, and I keep procrastinating by getting in my car and driving around, just fucking doing nothing. Just driving places. First, like, oh, I might need that, and then I drive somewhere where they don't have that.
And then it's dark. Another day has gone by.
And I got stung in the face this morning by a bee. I was trying to get the concrete yellow jackets, and I set them ablaze. Watered up some paper, jammed it in there, hit it with lighter fluid, torched it, fell getting out of there because I got scared. And then I had my hose there. And after about 5 minutes, we started to, started to get big enough for maybe neighbors. It's like 5 in the morning.
Fire?
Yeah, big fire. And then I blasted it out with the hose. And
Are you
then,
not watching the news right now? Half of California's on fire.
yeah.
And you're
Yes, but there's no bee problem in Northern California.
That's true.
I tell you what, you can sit out in Northern California in that scorched earth and eat a spam sandwich without a bee landing on your goddamn finger, and it's probably worth it just for that.
No
You go,
fucking meat bees.
yeah. So I got. So here's what happened though: is I fell, I got out of there, and then I went back to get the lighter fluid because I was like, well, I should have capped it, and it was leaking down there, and it could, secondary. You worry about secondary fires. So I went down to grab the lighter fluid, and then one of the bees let me know that not only did I not kill them, but I missed their fucking place. I burnt a little too high. Burnt one, like if I was trying to kill something in the basement, I lit the second story on fire. So,
Hey, Andy, I have a question. Let me see if I can recap this. You were worried about starting a secondary fire, so you went and got lighter fluid?
No, well,
No.
I dropped it in the.
He
in
dropped
my
the
cyclone.
lighter fluid next to the fire.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I had a really good trial run for tomorrow's fire. Anything, like so later after that, after I got
God
stung,
damn it.
I took a nap. Every time you get stung, you gotta nap.
Oh,
Yeah.
believe me, I
think
know.
that's fair.
Yeah, so it got me in the eye too. So it's been, so I went down and I trimmed briars because you don't want to fall when you're starting a fire. What if I fell and I couldn't get to the hose? Things like that you start thinking about when you. And then I went down to check on things and I saw one buzz out of there and it's like, fuck, I missed it. And then it went right to my fucking face. I didn't even see it, but it was like right on my fucking stomach. So what's going to happen to him tomorrow? Him and about 500 of his buddies are going to get torched alive because I know exactly where it is now. There's no fucking fooling. I feel like
it's right below the charred part of the yard.
Yeah, you've marked it for everyone.
It's what's left.
the fire was up and
What's
to the
called
left.
Firing a shot over their bow.
Yeah,
Absolutely, literally.
You have 2 yards, Andy. You've got the burned yard and then the rest of the yard.
yeah.
Only till tomorrow, Shaylee.
Oh, yeah.
In a few,
Very temporary.
a few years ago when I was contemplating arson, I never thought of including the bees in the wild scenario. I started a fire that burnt my house down, but I was only trying to kill these bees. Let me show you the problem out here. How they're all wedged there, and you see that concrete. That gives them a little place that they can hide under that concrete.
Can I ask you, how did they get the concrete? How'd that concrete get there?
A lot of
That almost
exterminators.
looks intentional.
There's a lot of exterminators who don't get into the improv stuff.
I've heard of mud daubers, but concrete daubers? Hey, wait a minute. There's an AA sketched into the concrete.
I'm
Isn't
sure.
your name Andy Andrus?
I'm sure.
Isn't that your handprint, Mr. Andrus?
I'm sure a professional would come out and tell you that there's a set way to do things, and you don't just. Yeah, you know what? Wasp.
Yeah, the concrete comes after the fire, son. Come on now.
Where's
You need
that?
a professional to tell you there's a professional way to do things?
What I needed was the mailman to go, hey man, I think you're going about that all willy-nilly. And like, what do you mean? What's that bee thing? I get it. I know that's willy-nilly. It's a fucking mistake after mistake. And there's really, outside of what I'm going to do is burn them out. There's really no proper way to do it safely, I think. As far as I know.
This is basically Caddyshack 3 without the golfing.
Yeah.
This
And
is
then
just Carl
smaller
Spackler versus
lot.
the Mud Daubers. And when after the whole subdivision has exploded and Kenny Loggins is playing, one final bee is gonna just come zipping out of the hole and fucking buzz away. As the camera
Right
follows it
Andy
off
in
into
the
sunset.
coughs a little smoke.
Perfect. I'm all right.
Right. Yeah. What's going through my head already?
I know it.
I feel like when you
Fuck.
get stung too, that it's like, I don't know, I maybe this, but it feels like you get harassed that day more by them. Like they know you're a fucking pussy, or they can
Yeah.
smell that you've gotten a little, It's like I think when they attack, they know that they have a sense that, and they go after the same thing that fucking bitch. See,
So basically,
proving
they're
my point, right? He knows I got stung in the face, and he's like waiting around to see if I make any more aggressive moves at his team. Call the scientist. I know this is right.
You don't have a sandwich or a liquid sitting there. Yeah, maybe that might be what's attracting him in.
I might have got a little sloppy with the bee attractant, but
Wait. You put out. You baited.
You bait him.
He's wearing a new cologne, honey.
I have thought of that would be like, I haven't really run into a situation where it would come in handy, but it would be, I always thought that would be cool to put bee attractant on somebody like at a barbecue or something.
Like instead of a kick me sign on their back.
Yeah, just have like bee attractant in a squirt gun.
Slather your hand with bee attractant and give a pat.
Like it'd have to be like in a rom-com situation. I was trying to date Goldie Hawn, and the current Goldie Hawn with her face all melted.
She's already been stung by all the bees.
She shows up with an EpiPen and saves the day. Is that your plot?
Remember that year?
To ruin the natural course of this, but Andy, if you're doing this, and you put slathered like bee attractant all over your hand, wouldn't the bees also follow you?
Well, no, you get it off. You gotta.
Well, I mean, that would be the
slingshot it at him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would be kind of a funny way to go with it. But
could easily put it
just
on.
Seems like I don't know that you'd be.
You put it on a chair
to clean your hands.
Yeah, like you put it on a chair. Like say your grandpa has money and he's, and then you go, hey, grandpa, have sit here, grandpa, and enjoy your cake. And then you put bee attractant all over grandpa. He gets stung by bees. Next week you're talking about dividing up assets. Not
until they look at his pants and see bee attractant all over his pants.
Yeah, I think I got Carol. It's kind of a Carol Baskin ripoff.
What exactly is bee attractant? Is that going to be pollen?
It smells like old
Flowers.
lady perfume. It's just the stinkiest.
It's a real thing.
Yeah,
they have that.
Put it on.
Do you think the reason you might have bees is because you're using bee attractant? Maybe that's why you have so many bees.
What? It's like, a product that doesn't need to exist.
Yeah.
Why do you need to attract bees? Bees go where they want to go for pollen and shit.
No,
these guys who have hives want to
what these guys do is they fly around, and then they know, like, if I'm barefoot, and then they're just like right about where I'm ready to put my foot down. There's a fucking bee. I mean, I've been watching them.
When you're barefoot, is that what you said?
They just, I mean, they have a knack for being.
They communicate very quickly, Shaylee.
Yeah.
Barefoot.
Yeah, they do these little dances where they like dance in a figure 8 and their wings do all this shit. All this crazy shit. Well, there's some of that. Those are the newbies.
Motorola.
The newbies.
The newbies.
It's just fucking Anyway, I'm gonna kill the whole that bunch, and then
Hey, can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Can you set up your phone on video and get some video of this?
I don't know. It's like, well, I'll try.
We promise not to use it as evidence. If things go wrong, we'll just destroy it and act like it never existed.
It's gonna be dark, but I light it up.
It's not going to be dark for long.
Well, you can't light up fires in your neighborhood when people are awake, and then they'll smell it too. They'll right away. You got creosote and flames coming out and shit. And people are gonna smell it. So
fires are a lot more noticeable in the dark. I found, Andy.
Oh yeah. I was glad I got it all. Had that hose nearby. I should have put an extension on it. I was like, a fireman would want the hose a little closer. But I'm.
You didn't get all the way to where you.
No, I was about.
And
away,
he's
and
got
it's
his
like-
thumb on the hose, arcing it over to the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it's get out of here, motherfucker. If I make it through the night, get out of here. God damn it, fucking cunts.
I wish your camera was better focused. You got
damn
the
it.
glare.
I'm
I know. It'll be fine. Another 2 minutes, it'll be perfect.
Oh,
yeah.
that's true.
I
So
gotta,
it's better to-
I
better
gotta
to
be
just-
careful because I call bees. I mean, bees. I call get off of me, you fucking faggots. I call them faggots. I'm not. I'm not trying to belittle them, their thing or whatever, but I call them faggots. And
Look,
It is
we're
hate.
in our we're in
hate
our
book.
50s, and we use that as a slur for things that were bothering us, or things that we didn't like, or things that were
Yeah.
pussies.
yeah,
And
Just
it
muscle
doesn't.
memory at this point.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It doesn't mean anything, and it's just
Yeah.
a word that comes out because we're archaic dinosaurs.
yeah.
But we're asking forgiveness.
I
So
would
don't
never.
think it's
I
a
would
problem.
never call a guy who was into having sex with another guy a faggot, but I would call myself a faggot if I can't find my ID and I'm at a cash grab or a bee's coming up around my face. I'm like, you fucking faggot, why aren't you fucking dancing in some club, you fucking sting fucking motherfucker? Yeah, I don't fucking agree with their lifestyle, I guess, and I'll do anything I can to burn them out of here. Enough
Living
about
all
those.
underground.
Yeah, I'm kind of fucking done with them, man. It's
It
How
seems
many
like
times-
it's escalated to.
I spent probably $30 on shit to blow them out of these holes. They keep coming back. Uh-oh.
Erickson, you're blowing out again.
Well, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you that whatever you just said, and then came back on with a smile. We didn't hear.
It's all right. That's all right.
It sounded witty.
I think,
Yes, I'm sure it
we-
was.
I think it was just laughing.
We can do a whole episode of Brett's Frozen Gems.
I try. I'm up in the North Studio right
Uh-huh.
now, and I was trying to get on the internet up here in this studio, and it turns out it's been turned off.
Must be.
Who's running the studio and see about that. So I'm on my internet, which is a floor below me. So
Yeah, well, it's
Drill a
solid.
hole and run an Ethernet cable.
It's solid.
Drop it over the railing, or go to a Starbucks.
yes, I should be doing this podcast at a Starbucks.
Do you guys remember when Andy fucking did podcasts from public places? That was
Yeah.
hilarious. I forgot all about that until you said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
first one in
Our
Florence,
dealership?
Florence, Oregon, at the coffee place. Is like,
Yeah.
yeah, you realize right away that
But you
it's
didn't
not.
tell us. We're
What's that art?
Who's that person keeps walking behind you? Just
Yeah,
clearing
they're
plate.
going to the bathroom.
What a tangled web, huh?
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's
Yeah, I was lost in a lie and I
Yeah.
forgot who I was talking to.
Well, and how crazy doing a podcast in a public place when there are no more public places.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the last of the era.
Mm-hmm.
Impossible.
the old normal. Yeah, I'm kind of fucking ready to do something different, but hey, we're still in it.
Hey, weren't you gonna go somewhere, Andy? After the
Uh,
podcast?
I think I was really, really high on an edible. But in theory, it's
Look.
not, but it's a long drive, and I got another trip. I'm going to Branson, Missouri to hang out with Yakov and do some celebrity Yakov broadcast. That's I don't know.
Sweet.
I don't know. It's like, why do you call it Yakov celebrity thing? And he's like, whatever. We're just all a bunch of us are going out to Branson.
He's
Jimmy
like-
Walker.
He's
Jimmy
like,
Walker.
that's my name.
Me, Gabe Kaplan, Jimmy Walker, a lot of us 80s fucking big shots are getting together.
Freddie
out there.
Prince.
Freddie Prince is, well, yeah, Freddie's going to be on the
Contacting
unannounced.
Freddie.
I don't think Freddie can make it, but
Good. Well, that sounds fun.
yeah, and we're just gonna rewrite Yakov's jokes.
What
It's gonna like what a country, but it's gonna be America. That's what everything's just gonna be.
Wait, how about that? What if Yakov now decided to go back to Russia and make fun of America for
Yeah.
being a fucking fascist, totalitarian state with no freedoms?
He's gonna do the Putin press thing. The journalists get together.
The Putin correspondence dinner, the Moscow Times.
Yeah. But Putin kills people, yeah? Oh, man. Don't do Yakov impressions when you're not in the mood for it.
Well, here's
So
Yeah,
you
so-
really, are you really going to Branson?
No, I've got a trip coming up maybe in October, but I just, the Whitefish, Montana is what? It's about a 12-hour trek. But I
Yeah.
also got to save up, when you're partying with Yakov, you want to have drugs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to save up maybe for that. But a country. Your cocaine is not very good. That's all. I'm complaining. I bet it's hard for Yakov to complain. If Yakov complains, then everybody's waiting for the punchline. No, I'm just not happy with the service and all this argument. Okay.
I am very angry.
And okay.
In my country,
comparing-
everybody angry.
Yeah, you know who told me Russian people suck? It was Doug Stanhope's mother. I was staying right around where you're living right now, Erickson, and I was walking down the street, and Stanhope's mother started talking about this guy across the street. What an awful piece of shit he was, and he's
Talks
right.
about
Yeah,
Still is.
it.
yeah, he's still there.
He
She
still
hated
is. In fact, about 2 months ago, we heard a ruckus outside at about 10 o'clock in the morning. I think it was even a Sunday, but who knows anymore. But we hear this argument. We can hear the guy. He's always yelling at somebody, either his kids or his wife or somebody. So we instantly recognized right away it's Kiersey, this Russian guy that lives across the street. And then we realize he's fighting with these two like waifish 20-somethings, and we recognize like, oh shit, that's the couple that's renting the other little apartment from him, and they're in a fuck you, get out, you get out of my house, fuck you, you leave, fuck you, we're leaving anyway, asshole, fucking throwing shit into their van. And we're like, oh yep, there it is. So there's an apartment for rent across the street if anybody is interested.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you get into an argument with a Russian, the ones I've run into, you can't really win. It's like I got into a cab in Portland, and my car was near a Shiloh Inn, so I was like, yeah, take me to the Shiloh. There's 2 Shiloh Inns on Sandy Boulevard, as it turns out, and he took me to the wrong one. And I go, this isn't the right one. And then an argument ensued, and he was, not my fault, your fault. And then he was like, it didn't matter whose fault it was. This isn't where I need to be. Take me to the other one. And eventually it was, I fucking said, fuck you, and slammed the door and got out, and he followed me. And, I threw the money, dickhead. I threw your money. And but he followed me in there looking for fucking revenge, and he went back and he found I did throw it was like, I think I threw 20 just to get out of his fucking cab, and it was like an $8 thing, and he wouldn't take me to the other one. But it was like, okay, I get it. We're having a language, we're not connecting. But as a cab driver, you take somebody and they say this isn't the right place. Wouldn't you, as a customer, know that? I'm saying this is not where I'm going. No, it is.
It is. You live here.
Telling
You stay here.
Yeah.
You stay here.
No,
Yeah.
this is
Get
where
out.
you work now.
Get out.
Get out.
So you can call this racism or profiling, but after that situation, and I did this a lot because I would ditch my car at the same spot, and I'd get a cab. I would go and go, hi, how are you? To all the cab drivers lined up until I got the right accent.
You were interviewing?
I was
Pre-interviewing for your ride?
What accent is that you're looking for? Aussie?
I would say, hi, how you doing? And I would listen. I wouldn't even look at him. It didn't matter.
G'day, mate. Hop in.
Yeah.
All right. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. Any accent but Russian. Because there was a Russian mob that
Hey,
ran.
LA.
Yeah, well, it was I'm sure it was a company in Portland that's run by fucking goons. And they, they're... Anyway, I don't want to diss on people based on skin color, but nationality, fuck you, Russians. God damn it. Could you calm down a little?
Well, Russians are definitely the Americans of Asia. They're angry white people who are overly drunk and overly proud of themselves. And their only accomplishments basically are winning some wars because they have the mentality of just running into bullets if someone tells them to. So that makes them particularly effective, so they won. So now they're, they are what they are.
Russia is like America if America was exactly like the Midwest.
Yeah. Russia is basically Ohio to Denver.
So you could take
Just
Larry
colder.
the Cable Guy's act, cut it up, give it to Yakov, and he could deliver it, and it would work just fine. That's not quite Midwest, but South.
It is Midwest. He's from Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
So that's as middle of Midwest.
The South is just the Midwest without values.
The South is just the Midwest good at football.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's not because of the overrun number of big white talented kids there.
No, it is not.
Another Jim Bob Jimmy comes out on the field. Jim Bob ran for 400 yards last week. No, you want to hear? That's where that whole white power and all the fucking we're superior. It's like, okay, yeah. I have trouble seeing all the superior race in the NBA games or watching the NFL football. I don't see a lot of superior race besides Tom Brady, and he's almost done anyway. I hope he gets his legs snapped in Tampa Bay there. I said it.
I hope he gets COVID and dies on a respirator.
I hook he turns like everybody else in Florida. He turns fucking feral after a few weeks. He runs off on a boat. He's on a boat with hookers and some meth.
He becomes Florida man.
Yeah.
He's fucking smoking bath salts and trying to eat Rob Gronkowski's leg.
Yeah. Oh man, Gronkowski's already.
Oh, that's right. Gronkowski's back.
Yeah. Gronk will be fucking.
He's down there too.
I don't think there's going to be football though, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Not if they
No,
kill him.
there isn't going to be football because they're all going to be protesting because we'll still be protesting by then.
Well,
It's all starting back up. The NBA teams, did you guys, I don't know if you how closely you're watching what's happening, but all the NBA teams today decided to go on strike. They're not playing NBA playoff games tonight, all because of what's happening in Wisconsin. And that's a thing that is going to be, if this keeps going, then, and there's already some baseball teams that are not playing today also, and it's just going to keep spreading. So between the pandemic and the complete social unrest in the country,
yeah, I was trying to watch basketball, and then I turned to ESPN, and I got, that Cincinnati Reds guy getting fired, but this guy's like, we don't really want to bring politics out here to the baseball pitch outside there, but with the recent shooting
7
there
times in the back, just a bit outside.
7 times, as he eyes that one, looks a little outside. 7 bullets, severing his spine. And,
Did you guys see the clip where the baseball announcer had gotten busted calling like some about faggots or something? Sorry.
Yeah.
I missed it.
It's Tom Brenneman from Cincinnati. He came back. Well, it was actually at the beginning of the game. It was like as they were coming to them.
Was it a hot mic situation?
A hot mic. He didn't know that he was on yet, and it was like the last thing he said before he said, "Hey, good evening and greetings, and welcome to the ballpark." It's like, even if someone turned the mic on too quick, you've got to know that you can't run up that close
Oh no.
Oh no.
Tired of
So
Well, and,
gotta save that for the hotel room, man.
Well,
Once you step
yeah.
into the broadcasting booth, you can't be
Yeah.
talking about, you can't be using the F word like a bunch of old, straight,
Okay.
white 50-year-old guys
Yeah.
yelling at bees.
Hey,
you're
would
you're
like
at
to-
work, right? You act appropriately.
Yeah.
You're at work, motherfucker. You're not the
Yeah.
first person to have to do this. But
No.
yeah, that was.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I missed the whole fucking context of it. But it just,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew fucking
It-
what you're talking about.
yeah.
When the guy hit a home run in the middle of his apology.
It is
Yeah,
apology.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't
There's
know.
a long
all
drive
Taken off
left.
the
It's
air.
a home run. It's going to be 4-0, and I might never wear this headset again. It's been my honor to serve you people as the announcer.
This does
I
not
Sure am
reflect me.
sorry about that.
That's not what I
I'm
am.
the Jew.
This is
You
not
always
what I am.
know a guy is completely full of shit whenever they say, "As a man of faith." It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Oh,
That-
man of faith.
That's not who I am.
funny.
Remember that Chicago show? I think Erickson was there at the theater, and there's that Doug, that long show, and Doug was in the garbage
Was it
can.
at the
Lake
yeah,
Shore.
Yeah,
the
that's-
Lakeshore Theater, which
Yeah.
became the Laugh Factory, by the way, under a completely gutted and redone, became the Laugh Factory, I do believe. But the Lakeshore Theater was a fucking legend, man. There were
Oh
some
my god.
crazy.
Yeah, I
Sure.
did. I mean, I had to fucking, the heavy-handed handshake. Go like, enough, man, enough. I got enough. I have enough cocaine for the evening. Thank you.
We did an unbooked show there, and there were only like 14 people or something in a
Yeah.
theater that said, I don't. And the guy who was a sweetheart who ran the place, but also
Captain.
someone who was, he
Insano.
was the king of the, he was the heavy handshake and everything, you know. But remember, Andy, we were looking at the like Chicago Things to Do magazine, and we're looking at the listing for the Unbookable show, and in the bio it says the Unbookable, a bunch of fuck ups who have fucked up their whole lives are here to fuck up another show, and it's like, what the dude? Of
Yeah.
course no one's here. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Well,
They did a double show, remember?
yeah. I remember sitting. There was like
I don't think Doug was there the night we did the actual Unbookable
No.
show there at
Uh,
night. But
yeah, it was 2 consecutive nights, and then Doug did 2 shows. Or, I don't know. It was a fiasco for
It
us.
was an Unbookable show
Right.
and a Doug Stanhope
Was
show.
it?
And
I
they
see.
let Doug do the Doug show went first, and they said anyone who wants to stay can stay for the.
There was
for the other
definitely
show.
a night that Andy and I were there without Doug, though. I remember.
Yeah.
I absolutely remember that being part of it.
Was-
I think we
was
must
that
come
with
back.
Matt
and done
Kirshen?
another
I think
one,
Matt Kirshen was there.
but It might have
Ritter.
been that.
Yeah,
Ritter,
that-
Captain
that-
Ritter.
Yeah,
Ritter's
because
the guy's name.
Yeah.
Reggie
That's it.
Watts was like the only person in the crowd, like sitting
Uh-huh.
way, like sitting way back up here. And then Matt Kirshen was on stage, and nobody. There's like maybe 5 people in the whole theater. Reggie Watts about way the fuck back in that middle section, and I went and I sat behind him, and I go, "Oh God, this always happens to me. Would you mind moving your hair, sir?"
Big afro right in front of
Yeah,
you.
giant
One-
fro. It's like,
One other guy in the theater.
yeah, that was it. Is that Hinty and
That's Hinty, yeah.
but yeah, so when that guy, we had that big, there was a piss bucket on stage, and the show went super long. That's what made me think of it, is when I kicked that bucket of piss on that guy. I could have done that
You
interview.
had a flag draped around you.
Yeah,
I
I
believe
was-
the flag was pissed on in the bucket, and then you kicked the bucket and the piss hit someone.
it was like a Toby Keith song.
Piss wasn't in the bucket.
Yeah, yeah, it was a bad country song, bucket full of piss. And I kicked it on that guy who was sitting down on the stage. Like, Doug let people come up and smoke, and I kicked a bucket, not just my pee, everybody's pee on this guy. And I felt like if I had a chance to say anything, I would have said, "Hey man, that's not me. That's not who I am. I'm a man of faith."
Here's everyone that was at the show. Doug had everyone on stage
Yeah,
that was in the audience come up on stage and made Norm Wilkerson, who you can see like right there. That's Norm
Sitting
Wilkerson.
down.
He did his act from the front row, and everyone on stage got to smoke cigarettes because it was part of the act.
Yeah.
So but then there were no ashtrays, so everyone's ashing into their hands and into cups and stuff. It was mayhem.
Oh,
Ritter
Yeah,
wouldn't
many
have given
people.
a fuck about ashes on the stage. That's for sure. That guy was a goddamn maniac.
Especially when later was the piss bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. I like it when somebody runs a loose ship, but you can also tell you better get off of it because it's going down.
Plan your eggs.
Yeah.
In water.
That's Andy's rule. Once I kick a hole in the side of the ship, I'm getting the fuck
Yeah.
off of it.
Yeah,
Get
I'm
off.
first one out.
There's got to be a waterfall up here somewhere.
Yeah, swim away from the wreckage.
That's a good, like, we were talking last week about inspirational quotes. That'd be a good one to be like sewn, like hand sewn into a thing, or like a plex. Swim away from the wreckage.
I did that. I was with the crew, and we went to a Dave Matthews thing. I didn't go with these group. That was the one I snuck into the concert, but there was that day. This guy, I didn't know this group that well, but somebody had a big pontoon, and I was with these.
Pontoon boat,
So we were like, it was the Columbia River Gorge, and it's just it was cool. And you go in this back area. And there's, it's just it's like a spring break situation. Lots of boats, music, all this shit. Anyway, on the way out, our pontoon guy was having a little too much fun, and he buried the front of the boat. And then the people in it, they tipped, and I think I was the only one who went overboard. I went overboard, and I started swimming. I started swimming away because it's like,
Were you on the bow, Andy, when he dipped it?
No, I was at the back end. It was kind of like a George Costanza on Seinfeld when he ran over people. Because there were a few kids in the boat or whatever, but it looked like the boat was going to tip over, and I was like, fuck it, and I jumped out to get away from it. And then they were like, they were calling cowardice, but my thing was like, fuck you, man. If that boat tips over, I'm going to be the first responder.
So you're diving off to swim away so you can swim back and help.
No, I was out but I mean, it looked like I was just swimming away and leaving everybody to die, but I was getting out of the way because I thought the thing was going to tip over or was going to.
I love how you started this story with I was thrown from the boat. And then you continued to tell us how you jumped off when you got scared.
It's every Andy story. It starts out with the fucking original version of the first draft, in which Andy's a hero.
But anyway, yeah. So and then kind of bummed me out because those guys were fucking dicks anyway. But they were like, like giving me shit about it, and I was kind of like, I was headed down that PTSD highway, and I didn't need their bullshit with the, either way, man. If that boat, fuck it, man. I didn't sign up for Captain Pontoon to get reckless and shit, and them kids weren't nothing to me anyway. And if one of them would have been around there, I would have said, hey, man, let's try to get over to them rocks or something.
Start a new life.
And I guess from what I was told when there was another boat picked me up, it is you don't want to swim over to the rocks because there's a lot of snakes over there. It was like a real Indiana Jones situation.
Maybe that can go on the back of the T-shirt. On the front it says "Swim away from the wreckage," and on the back it says, "But don't go near the rocks." There's
but also snakes. Yeah.
But and I think a couple of those guys are now dead. I heard that one of the guys in the back of the boat died of a heart attack a few years ago, and then the pontoon guy's second mate or whatever fucking died. So there you go. They're reckless assholes.
Yeah.
Well,
and they got what they deserved, it sounds like.
When you tell this story next time, you can say that you were thrown from the boat and you were only one of a few survivors.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically,
like when we
To
sunk
this
that
day,
boat.
I'm the only survivor from that wreckage.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote a short story about how I was stranded on a thing. And turns out I was in Cleveland and I was just really high.
But your shirt was off.
Yeah, but I took my shirt off and
It's
I got
a reason to take your shirt off.
Got a tattoo of the adventure on my back.
Oh man, I love how our stories always pick on the same three people.
Yeah.
Full
Mishka?
circle, man.
Yeah. Well, Mishka's just like, he's like that fucking Bob. He's he's on a pedestal.
Or like a Confederate general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Statue for Robert E. Lee.
Mishka hit me up the other day because he's just got his place in Bisbee, and he says, "Hey, can you do any carpentry or tile work or electrical?" Like he's listing off all the things, like he's like soliciting a contractor, and if so, I could use a hand over here. And I told him, I said, I'm no good at any of those things. I said, but I can lift heavy stuff, and I can provide witty quips while people work. And he messaged me back, and he said, "Yeah, no thanks. I can lift heavy stuff, and I don't need you fucking busting my balls while I work."
What's he think? It's like
He got the
his-
message.
Bisbee is you call up Chad's list. Hey, Chad,
Chad's list.
I need some contractors, and you do painting work, and
he knows how to find suckers. He had Fury and Joby just stopped by my house yesterday. They were on their way, came into Sierra Vista to get some supplies for Mishka's house, and I thought Mishka was be with them since it's for his house, but no, they're just out getting shit for Mishka.
Mishka probably had to take pictures of his cat in between his ankles while he was taking a shit, so he couldn't be bothered to go get the supplies.
Mishka's kind of like Charles Manson. I've been watching that. He's a taller Charles Manson without the songwriting ability. Like Charlie, he could write a song. Charlie wrote sensitive songs that made women want to join his cult, not go drink.
I will say that Mishka has better merch than Charlie.
Yeah. Oh man, but I would have bought a Charles Manson shirt.
Absolutely, but that's my point. Charles Manson didn't have any merch when he was in operation. He could have made a nice living.
Yeah, you almost said killing, but he could have made a kill.
I'm not just taking all the fucking low-hanging fruit here, dude. Come on.
Wow, what's Mishka competing in there? It looks like he lost.
Run for your life. Some kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's a young picture of him. I saw him the other day when I stopped by Joby's house. He was over there, and he's growing a mustache. And I told him, I was like, as soon as I saw him, holy fuck! I said, shave that thing. You look like a fucking cop. He looks exactly like a cop with that mustache.
Yes.
He's had one before, but I think he had his beard.
Oh, that's cool. I guess he's got this now over there.
Yeah, some kids were over there. I don't know who it was. Someone was over there that I didn't recognize, and we were always slowed down. They were no one who knew who we were, and
he's actually. I don't know
if they were the new renters or something.
I don't know if this is accurate, but I heard that Mishka is now the third largest employer in Bisbee. After the hospital and Safeway, Mishka put more people than anybody in.
For free labor.
Yeah, for free labor. Yeah. Where's Derek at now?
He said labor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Labor to get him to work.
I think you were confused. Free.
Yeah.
Would associate with Derek, but labor working no.
One time I watched Derek and Kenny compete with the Rumba in the funhouse. I mean, they weren't, it's like
the vacuum
Rumba
machine.
Yeah, the vacuum machine. And I saw those guys. I'm like, shit, man.
It's like Paul Bunyan versus a chainsaw.
Yeah, old John Henry. Turns out Kenny out-rapped the machine, but didn't outwork it, and and Derek had to go somewhere else. So, yeah.
And the Rumba actually ran out of juice and had to recharge for 6 hours. He still beat him.
They're throwing Cheetos and thumbtacks on the floor, trying to sabotage it so they can keep their job.
So I saw the Funhouse makeover. You guys didn't do anything structurally to it, right? Besides the structural racism on the wall.
Put in a sink.
I just finished like tidying up because we've got a director coming over to. They're shooting some footage tomorrow for the documentary that Doug's producing. So I tried to get everything done. Basically, I didn't get any pictures though because I ran right up into when we were supposed to podcast. But basically, what we did, Doug wanted to paint everything. I go, well, if you're going to paint everything, then why don't we make this an entertainment center and put all of the hardwire, all of the cabling and electrical, internet cable, everything to the TVs. And have everything, so it's not a big jumble, and get rid of a lot of the clutter that was in there. So, and then the color is amazing. That light green, like chartreuse almost, was just, like this. It was just, the light color just doesn't work, especially for now that we're doing more video in there. And now it's completely, it looks so fucking good.
Shaley looks like he's a movie poster for Brokeback Mountain when
behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
You boys ain't watching the sheep. I know that. You boys up here doing something besides that.
let me hear you. Let me hear you purr, boy.
I forget what I went to a movie and Brokeback Mountain was playing at the same time, and I went into that one. I was like started a little, and I got up when I wasn't offended, but there's a gay scene in that, like they're in a fuck or whatever, but that was when I got up and like, and walked like I was up, like I was somebody.
You made a big deal out of it, so that other people in the theater would think that you were really mad about it.
Yeah, well, I stormed out to Brokeback Mountain offended to go watch whatever Spider-Man or some bullshit. Still don't know what happened on that Brokeback Mountain, but it looked like a good movie. But yeah,
it was actually all about killing hornets, Andy. You really missed it. Yeah,
well,
they were
a lot of tips in there.
Clear hornets.
Yeah, like if you said to your I'm gonna go out and kill hornets, and then you get your kit together and you leave for a weekend. that's what he was doing. I think they call them boys
me and my handsome friend are gonna go hornet killing for a couple of days, honey.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, isn't that what you do every time you have a gig?
What's that?
You pack a bag and leave for a week?
Oh yeah, no, sure.
To meet up with another guy?
No, not a fellers. Fellers.
Yeah,
well,
you're doing gigs, right?
Jilly, sure, yeah, a couple times. I meet up with Doug, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But that was before he was into the husky fellas. Some people, they start eating edibles and then they let their whole thing go different direction.
That was back when he was a top. He was so much more fun then.
Yeah, he cared about what his bottoms were doing. Now he don't care. Yeah, he gives up a little bit in the physical appearance for some intellect, and that's where I draw the line.
Fuel scooping complete.
Crossing the lemon party lines right there, sir.
We're actually recording a chapter for Sam Talent's book, Running Light. Doug's going to read one of the chapters. We're going to record it.
Oh, nice.
Any, well, I'm only on chapter 3, so is it one of those?
Yeah.
No. It's the perfect chap. When you get to it, you'll go, oh.
There's a couple that I could see that could be perfect.
I won't tell you even if you say it, but I don't want to. Doug's like, why am I doing this one? I go, that's the one you have to do. That is the only one you have to do.
It really is such a fucking good book. It's like, it pisses me off how good he is at writing. It's like every fucking no, I have not finished it. I'm on Friday.
I don't think we should talk about it until everyone's finished it, because when I didn't finish it while he was here, and I fucking wish I did, because it is the fucking greatest ending. And I'm like, God damn it,
Is he right off a cliff in a convertible.
with a girlfriend.
Does Billy Bob end up showing up at my Airbnb with some crack?
Actually, that's funny that you say that.
Actually, he ends up on a golf course and he sticks a fucking fire hose down into a gopher hole and fucking blasts a bunch of water.
I did do that earlier in the summer with the soap suds and jamming a hose into the hole. So I have done Bill Murray with that because the soap suds didn't do it either.
And it's so weird because well, we've got an insect problem here. I don't know if you've heard.
I thought Gump left.
That's a leech. That's different.
Oh, sorry. I love Gump. I'm sorry, Gump.
I don't. We use
that was a cheap shot.
We use a roach, like the Raid or whatever, like the spray for wasps, and I shoot it once. I do it at dusk or in the morning. I hit them once, and they just move on to another spot. I've never had a problem. I don't have to mix, Portland cement to fucking and then light a fire and then move.
Well, that was part of the postal planning, and I've yet to. I got my propaganda. The post office, helps free elections and shit. By my empty box, which he hasn't, he drove right on by it today. So I'll probably never get it in mail there, but it is my right, to fucking plunk down a box. They don't
do
have
something
to,
wrong. It's your right to do something wrong.
They don't have to.
You can absolutely mailbox wherever you want. I mean,
That's right.
that
three
is
more.
There is nobody's. You can put as many of them down. Absolutely correct. No one
To
can
get
stop.
weed deliveries or whatever, it'll just be anybody but the post office. But I'm still,
You probably could actually. You probably could tell the UPS guy and the FedEx guy and the Amazon guy that you want your deliveries put into that box, and they wouldn't give a fuck. They would do it.
Hey guys, let's take our shirts off while we're all here. The FedEx guy, the UPS guy, we're all hanging out.
Erickson, that's a really good hypothesis. I will since we have a really good relationship with our postage people here.
Let's find out.
When we wanted to build another like a box next to the regular mailbox, we just asked them, "What do you want us to do?" And she told us, "Go to this house, and that's the one. That's the best one." And so I will ask her, "Hey, what if someone just willy-nilly puts a box up wherever the fuck they want? I won't say it like that, but I'll say, what will happen? Would you, if I was nice to you and I said, hey, would you drop?
But you're talking about
Bisbee, Arizona, that was built willy-nilly.
Well, that's the only place I can ask, guys. I can ask a post office worker. If you talk to the UPS guy and the Amazon guy and the FedEx guy, they're private businesses. If you just say, "Hey, I want my shit to be put into this box," I misunderstood.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like you might have some actual success there because they don't give a fuck. They're not tied to all the bureaucracy of it. Like,
I'm just thinking.
If you're the customer, you want me to. Yeah.
There's federal restrictions on what they can do. FedEx, it's the Hedberg joke. He's a drug dealer and don't even know it. I mean, he'll put it anywhere he wants.
Listen, the FedEx UPS guy will appreciate a box down at the end of the road rather than trying to take it up to your house. So that's.
I remember those days waiting for my brothers.
We're problem solving.
Yeah, you probably talk shit about the USPS guy too.
Well, what if I went out there and I'll bet if I go out there and sit in the chair and then I wave the mail guy by and go, "Hey man, I just want to say, hey man, that UPS guy sure is a dick, right?" Or whatever. It's like maybe if I become like we're fighting against the UPS guy.
Enemy of my enemy.
Yeah. You know what? What bums me out? I mean, and it's because this guy doesn't like what I did or whatever, but he's probably right. If I would have gone about it the right way, but fuck it. They would have said no, and then I would have had my answer. But I'd rather go about doing it willy-nilly than to ask and then be turned down. So it's like willy nilly will stand as a fucking band-aid for a long time.
But at the least, you still have a nice package drop-off spot for
Yeah,
Amazon and I mean, stuff like that.
yeah, and I can tell
Yeah,
people
you're
to turn
right.
left at that mailbox, or not, because I don't
Although
really.
you might
invite
have to
them
build,
over.
a box underneath it, like Shaylee said, because if it's a official federal mailbox, UPS might not put
Yeah,
shit in it.
they can't leave it in there.
Whether it's in use or not, they
Right.
won't use it. You
Okay.
have to build yourself
Right.
a small
Yeah.
package box underneath there, a plywood box. That you
I
can
got a
put shit
plan.
in.
I wait till that guy has to deliver mail there. Maybe a year, 2 years from now. I drill a hole in the back of the mailbox. I put a cotton ball that's soaked in bee attractant in the mailbox, and then I send myself a bunch of stuff and wait
And wait.
and wait for that day when he opens that box and then gets stung, and then I'll go.
Just set up a beehive inside your mailbox.
I've been waiting to do that 2 years, man. And then shoot myself in the face. Like that was it. I was living just to get you stung, and that's it.
Game
Yeah.
over, man.
It's
Yeah.
important that we find our purpose, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you should stop fighting with the bees and just try to become their friend. You could have them doing your
Oh man, no, I would love to have that. I mean,
bidding.
that's what I've wanted to use raccoons and bees, yellow jackets for personal revenge for years. Now, I'd like to put a raccoon in somebody's car, and also, or in their house. And then I've always wanted to, like, if you could grab a wasp, hive, put it in a jar, and then just, it'd be fun to throw that into a certain, hey, how's your mega barbecue coming, neighbor, or
Like
whatever.
a hornet grenade?
Yeah, here comes, hey, you guys play football? Here you go. Whoa,
Go along.
hot potato.
you, you just see like a big beehive.
Yeah. Hey, Mike Pence, how you doing, man? He's speaking right now. Mike Pence is speaking, and I don't think anybody's going to be watching. Not because it's they are the like the lineup is like you should have saved Junior for a headliner for the last. Like Junior
Yeah.
came out of the gate all fucking drug addled, and nobody's been able to follow him.
Right.
Right? Like since then it's just been
Right. Yeah.
nothing. Even the hooker wife could barely even stir up controversy. But Junior, it doesn't even matter what he said, just how he said it, and he's all fucking weepy and shit. It's like, God damn it, that's what I would, if I was booking that club, that's the headliner. Go, fuck yeah, Junior. You brought it, man. You brought the
Yeah.
emotion.
Yeah, but that was a one night only show.
I know. You brought the
It wasn't
crazy.
like he was doing a 5-show week.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Eric, fuck Eric. They should let Junior do 2 spots.
I don't know why
Yeah,
everybody's being so negative about it. Cocaine really helps you in those kinds of situations, and it's
Yeah.
a known
Help
fact.
his girlfriend.
And listen, you come off a little yelly, but
Yeah,
that's
the thing,
cocaine,
Chad.
you know.
I think Chad Shank was hanging around back
A
there.
little yelly.
Yeah, Chad was hanging around back there, and Junior's like, I'm really nervous. This is a very important speech I got to do. How about just one to get my head right? Chad's like, sure you won't get weepy and crazy, Junior?
Don't
I
make it
didn't-
obvious, you dipshit.
I didn't watch any of it. Did he cry on camera?
He looked really weepy. I just seen
His eyes were really red and fucking watery looking, Shaylee. Yeah.
well,
I just saw clips. The clips were hilarious that I saw.
You can't prove anything, but if a Funny Bone manager saw that on a Friday night, you probably wouldn't be working Saturday, just on
Probably get
speculation.
Saturday and Sunday off.
Like, no, I wasn't on cocaine at all. Look, you were weeping and you were yelling at people, and everybody knew you're high on cocaine. No, that's crazy. What? Can I at least feature? Yeah.
Maybe we can change the
I'm
cover.
bipolar. Come on. Give me
Yeah,
a break.
I think I'm describing what happened in Sioux Falls.
Yeah. No shit.
Except I made the manager cry.
That's harder.
Well, yeah, it is. Oh man, and her, that was, fucking something, like to fucking do that in an empty theater, like
Fuel scooping
one
complete.
take, probably maybe one take, right? Was that a live performance? Like she nailed it,
It was pretty psychotic. That was the first thing I saw when I woke up in the morning and checked the, fucking Twitter and whatnot, and I just saw that headline. People
It's-
had tagged us in
yeah.
this fucking challenge and stuff,
But
and I was like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Whoever
Frame
plays
shift
her
drive
in whatever
charging.
movie, if we're live, there's a movie, that's fucking gonna be, that was a fucking, it's hard to keep that kind of momentum with whatever, and she fucking nailed it. Yeah, I thought both of them, I think the two of them should do, after this is all over, fucking tour around, do similar shit. He can get all coke and stuff. She can yell, she can be like, it's like, he's funny and she's not that funny, but he can be the headliner and she can be the road chick that opens for him and sells merch and shit, and just fucking I think so
Dressed
talented.
slutty.
Yeah, yelling and shit, and he's fucking
Yeah.
it's like hard to be it's hard
Yeah.
to come up with characters like that like
Fuel scooping.
that over the top to fucking sell something. And they're selling
Yeah.
fucking complete garbage.
Like when
so-
it'll be like, I'd say
Like-
it'll be like Tommy Chong and his wife on the road.
yeah,
She
or
would open for him.
like the boxer, Rocky, the Bisbee
Rocky
guy.
Balboa?
No, not Balboa.
Oh,
He's thick.
Jake LaMotta.
Oh, Jake LaMotta,
Yeah, and his lady.
Lady and the Champ.
Lady
Look
of
at
the
it.
Champ.
He looks like the coach of the Lakers back in the day.
Ah,
Yeah.
Sugar Ray.
Don Jr. is the ultimate poser.
I fought the Sugar Ray so many times I got diabetes.
I
Oh, that's
am. Yeah, she fucking brought it though. I mean, it's one of them great fucking spiels. It's like watching a comic with no audience. It's like these people were given these fucking spiels
Yes.
to an empty theater, and it has that same ring of
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah,
there's
how do
nobody
you-
in there, and
It's-
you just yell
it's-
like you were firing up a crowd, like you were like she was Brody Stevens warming up the man show audience or something. The only thing is it's an empty theater, lady.
That's all in your head, yeah.
Yeah, but she was she was yelling it to fucking people in their living rooms, and if that got
They
you
didn't-
fired up,
Production didn't help her out though, because I did see a clip of that. Because I was like, "Who's yelling?" And I turned, and Tracy's watching it, and the production when they pulled back on a wide shot, they should have cut away real quick or done something. They basically pulled away so you could just really be reminded that
The
there's
isolation.
nobody
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I
She's
noticed
yelling
that.
at an
Ju-
angry
but I
scene.
mean- Yeah, but Andy's right though, and that is ultimately the thing that sank it. Is that the point of all of their speeches was to get the crowd worked up and get them
Wow.
screaming and chanting. These
Written the
these
wrong
are the
way.
these are the lock her up, lock her up, lock her
Yeah.
up people. So
Right.
that's their fucking one move. That's their play. And when they
One
can't
note,
make that
yeah.
play, they can't adjust. They don't have a message.
Did they
so,
try to do lock
they
her
still
up,
have
but
to
then they
do
go,
their
"Oh, fuck,
act.
there's no one here."
yeah.
Just the camera guy and the
Yeah,
guy
but that's
raising
it,
the
though.
mic cables.
What they could do is like the NBA, put a bunch of cardboard box of people in there to go lock her up, lock her up. I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch Donald do his thing with the, he'll have some people enough in there to fill in the crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
So he'll probably
Right.
make it work. But yeah, it's like they're fucking they're missing they're doing the call and response
did
without the
change.
response.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't change their act.
Yeah.
They're doing lug when there's no nuts, Andy.
Yeah,
Frame shift
yeah.
drive
Hey,
charging.
Maybe you shouldn't have played that Gary Glitter song "Hey" to come out. Okay, hey, it's dress rehearsal, huh?
3, 2, 1.
I saw when I did that Down and Dirty taping a few years ago. They chose not to put me on the air.
The
When
HBO
we
thing?
the HBO thing, they
A classic mistake.
went to
And you realize when you tell this story, you should say the HBO thing, Down and Dirty.
Down and Dirty, Jim Norton's thing. I got a call or a message saying, you know, and I didn't audition or anything. I don't do that, and I don't have people who do that on my behalf. So somebody called, and then I thought it was a prank. I thought, okay, Inman's finally got his shit together. He's finally fucking done. I'm glad
He's
done
been
it.
working on that Jim
Yeah.
Norton impression
Good
for
Yeah.
so long.
Good one,
He's
dude.
finally
Hey,
fucking
yeah.
pulling it.
We want you on our HBO show, give us a call back. And he even hired a woman, you know, I got it. And I called up, and then it's like, you know, I eventually figured out this is legit. And I go, and I didn't put any bits up. I don't know how to do that. I still not sure how. I'm figuring it out. I'm getting closer, a few years away from
I
that.
don't
But
think you are, but that's
yeah. So
Keep
I go,
telling
what?
yourself
I
that.
go, what was the bit? And then
Yeah.
and I go, was it Rape Baby? And she goes, yeah, it was Rape Baby. And I got there, and they didn't want to hear Rape Baby. They wanted to change the whole thing. But anyway, the point of it is when we went out it was like an empty theater, and we were to go out, and then we were just to go hit our mark, and then say, whatever. Hey, whatever the first 3 words of your act, or hey, that's all they wanted. And then
And what was this
Yeah.
for, Andy? Is
just
this
blocking or whatever,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
blocking and the camera.
So
Yeah.
I went up, everybody, I watched them do that, and they just went up and they stood there and said, hey, did you get that or whatever, everybody. Then Andrew Dice Clay came out, and he did a fucking whole thing, like, you know, points this way, points that way, hey ho, and you know, like he did a 5 or 6 minute just posing thing, and that's how. Then I
Nice
was like,
man.
yeah, that's how you do that shit. Everybody else is just like, you know, shrunk away from it, and Dice Man got the feel of the theater while standing there. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's how it would be to, you know, it's like Clint Eastwood was ahead of his time, like, you know, that whole empty chair Obama skit would kill.
Talking to the chair.
It would be, it might work just as effectively with no audience. I felt like that
Yeah.
bit. Sometimes an audience not getting something will kill a bit. Have you noticed that?
Right.
Like, you know it's funny.
Sometimes, yeah.
That
You
does
know it's
happen.
funny, and then
That
you
does
present
happen.
it to them, and nobody understands it, or you know, you're like, Jesus, what a bunch of idiots. They don't get this. Hey, hey, I'm crunching pussy out.
Hey.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
I hearing the Dice Man down in the basement. That was the one thing I remember him saying, crunching pussy. I was like, fuck yeah.
Crunching pussy. Because he probably knew that somebody else already had the trademark on crushing pussy, so he was just trying to make a buck off of anything he
step ahead
could
of
by he's
legal.
gonna crunch his pussy.
I mean, but look at this guy.
Yeah, that was pretty much the Dice I saw. And then another highlight on that was watching fucking goddamn it, his name just slipped. Howard Stern sidekick. Fucking
Stuttering
Lang.
John?
with the nose
Artie
problem.
Lang.
Artie.
Yeah, well, Artie was there.
Artie.
And I happened to be at this place just eating in this little deli area, and then Artie Lang sat there. There's a few comics in there, and Artie Lang sat alone. And what happened between him and that plate of food? I mean, I looked away out of you know, I just couldn't. It's like, oh, it's what I get that he, you know, you don't attack a plate of deli food like that without some real fucking demons, you know.
I don't know what you're talking about, Andy. Of course you attack a plate of deli
Oh, fuck, I love you, Chad. All right, here's the deal, guys. We're gonna take a break. So we're old men in our 50s, and we're problem alcoholics. So we for sure all have to go pee. So we're gonna make drinks and have a little bathroom break, and then we're gonna come back on the other side. On the other side is Patreon. That's where we'll be. So if you want more issues with Andy, if you want more Andy, Chad, Greg, and Brett, sign up for our Patreon and you'll get it, because we go over there at the end of every show for a little while. Yeah. But that's okay if you don't want to do that. We still love you, and we're glad you're here on YouTube. So, you know,
No, I think you should do
Andy.
Yeah.
I think you should fucking
Well, I
do
mean,
it.
you do it. You should do it. You should do it.
Yeah.
You should do
Don't
it.
soft pedal this,
You should-
bitch.
I
Well,
just
I'm
had.
trying to be nice. I don't want to come off like a car salesman. You know
I
what
just
I mean?
had. Erickson is such a soft salesman that we sometimes forget to mention everything. Someone just tweeted us today and said, "Hey, how can I get a audio only version of Issues with Andy?" And I said, "Hey, that's an option on the Patreon." And I showed him a link. He responded right away and said, "I'm signing up. Thank you."
Also,
if you
you'll
didn't
want
know
to get
that, that's one
if
of
you
the
sign up
things.
for that too,
I
you'll want to
forgot.
get the
I
undercoding. Undercoding is the key to the Patreon.
Yeah.
So definitely get
Do you
the
have
under.
gap insurance? Have you heard of gap
Yeah.
insurance? You
God-
definitely want that.
Now, gosh
God
darn
damn
you
it,
got
Jerry!
one.
I told you I don't want the undercoating, Jer. I don't want it.
All right, man, you're gonna want it. You're gonna want it.
I
These
don't
winners.
want it. I told you over and over again.
Okay.
One more plug. Hit the plug.
All right. And don't forget. Well, there's a couple more plugs. I think I
All right.
can't see you right now, Shaylee, because the connection sucks, so I can't see what you're putting up. But definitely, if you're out there and you're on Twitch, sign up for Chad Shank's Twitch channel. It's a lot of fun. They play video games. They get really drunk. They talk mad shit. It's fun. It's exactly what Twitch is. It's the best of Twitch. That's what you want to do.
Good time.
So do that.
The subscriptions have
yeah.
dropped to half of what they once were, and it's almost not worth it anymore. So come and hang out and subscribe if
Wow.
you want.
The Swan
Wow.
Song.
Talk
Keg,
about
keg's
time.
empty, but you can grab a beer if you can find one.
Talk about soft sell. Jesus
That's
Christ.
that's what you call a hard sell.
Chad, swim away from the wreckage.
Yeah.
Swim
I'm
away
about
from.
man.
Oh,
You want to be able to rescue those people?
All right. And there's a couple of other things too. There's also Doug Stanhope's new book on Audible, No Encore for the Donkey. Sign up for Audible if you don't have Audible already and get that. It's amazing. It's Doug's story of his year in 2016. And also, speaking of Doug Stanhope, DougStanhope.com has Issues with Andy t-shirts. And
that's true.
boy, don't they look nice. Grab a. In fact, I had a nice personal Yelp review from a young Zach Erickson who said he was very happy with his Issues with Andy t-shirt because it wasn't one of those heavy, shitty, gross t-shirts. The material itself was nice and soft. It clung lovingly to his body. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but it's a nice t-shirt. So pick one up at DougStanhope.com. And we'll come back on the other side on Patreon. Like and subscribe. Thanks. We'll see you.